it's not like we got a call from Toyota or from NASCAR saying, do you guys want to go back to the Truck Series? I was literally sitting up in our office in Daytona Beach, and Mike and I had our own desks, and we're sitting there, and I had the TV on Speed. And I'll never forget, it was Jim Moss, and they were showing the new truck. Hey, this is going to be the Truck Series, and this is what we're going to be doing. And I saw the glisten in Mike's eye. I mean, I could see he was just like, oh man, I had so much fun in the trucks. And I looked at him and I go, if I could get you a ride in the Truck Series again, would you want to go back? And now you got to understand, he was driving the Army car for MB2 Motorsports. Yes. And Jay Fry had already said, you can have this ride again next year. Ryan Pemberton, and so sorry that we lost him this year because he was wonderful. And so they were doing well. I mean, he was getting poles. They were, Jay Fry says, I resurrected your career. And he did, putting him in that car. But it was only a 1-year contract because it was Army. And I remember I looked at Mike and I said, would you want to go back to the trucks if I could pull off like a contract? Like, let's reach out to Toyota. And he goes, you wouldn't be ashamed of me if I went back to the trucks? I'm like, what is up with men and their insecurities, Kelly? First of all, let's just have a podcast about that. So, yeah, write that one down. Now we're on to year 2028. But I could just tell he was so excited about it. And literally within a week, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, first of all, he said, let me call Richard first. Because if I'm going back to the trucks, I would rather go back with GM Goodwrench in my old ride and kind of do it that way. And I go, okay. So he calls RC, and RC goes, I don't think I'm going to do a truck. I'm not going to do a truck. And Mike goes, all right, boss. Okay, well, thanks. So, and I called somebody at NASCAR, and I was like, can I have a contact for Toyota? And they're like, is he serious? I'm like, yes, we're very serious. And they're like, I got a call back from Toyota in 5 minutes. And they were like, not only yes, but hell yes. We can't believe he'd be willing to do this, and from there, we started off. And the next thing you know, Hornaday calls. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Skinner, are you really effing going back into the trucks? And Mike goes, hell yeah, brother, come on, let's do it. And he goes, all right, I think I'm going to do a deal with Harvick. And then he said he got the GM. Mike goes, how'd you get my sponsor, you asshole? I mean, this is the conversation. Yeah. And then Sprague calls, and he's like, are you guys actually? And we're like, yeah, Sprague. And he goes, what should I ask for? And we told him, he's like, get the F out. And we're like, come on, do it. And he goes, all right, cool. And I mean, all of a sudden, all 3 guys. And then Steve Park's like, I think I'm going to do trucks. And we're like, oh, hell, this is going to be a party, And then Bodine's like, I think I'm going to do truck racing. We were like, what is going on? And all of a sudden, it's like it was a resurgence. Mm-hmm. It was insane. And it was fun.
As you're telling that story, am I correct in thinking I'm picturing the 5 truck? It was.
Oh my God, no, girl. So unfortunately,
because for some reason I'm thinking of the 5 truck. There was flames.
Yes. Okay. Now that truck was gorgeous, and that truck was Bill Davis Racing.
That's why that's the one that comes to mind.
Yes, but
I loved that.
That's my favorite. Still to this day, any paint scheme he's ever run was that 5 Toyota Tundra truck. I think it was pearl paint. I mean, the flames were badass, but. What happened is when we did the deal with Toyota, they said, any team you want to go with. Well, we had heard that Larry McReynolds wanted to start a truck team. And so Mike's like, hell yeah, get me back with Larry Mack. I mean, I love me some Larry Mack. So Larry called, Mike, I got this young guy, and he's going to field, and, if you would bring that Toyota deal over here, we could. And so that's what we did, really based off Larry Mack. Well, unfortunately, neither myself or Larry Mack or Mike knew that this guy's name was Alex Meshkin. And the name of his team was Bang Racing, and it went up in a bang because it was a...
I think I briefly
He was a scumbag. Yeah. I mean, I'll just be honest. The guy was a scumbag. He took money and was like sending it off to India, and I don't know what he was doing, but people weren't getting paid. And the thing is, he had a great deal. He had Travis Quapple. Mm-hmm. And he actually got a couple other sponsors. I mean, they had big money for that operation. And
that is a blast from the past.
Yes.
Once you said that team name, I was like, oh, shit, I do remember that.
It was Bang Racing, but it didn't
brief.
last.
Yes, it was very brief.
It did not last very long. And Mike wanted the 5 because that was Mike's late model number back in the Susanville days. So he wanted the 5. And, oh, no, the 42, it's a 40. And we're like, 42? That sucks. Like, who the fuck wants to be 42? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but that's just how okay, good. Okay, that's just how we kind of felt.
There's expletive labels.
Okay, good. Things. Yes, good. Okay, sorry. And so, anyways, we're sitting there, and we're like, all right, well, Mike's like, hey, listen, the check still cashes, right? Well, the check didn't cash, so we changed. And we got to go. Toyota handled it so well. Thank you, Toyota, for that, because we called him and we're like, we got to get out of here. I mean, to the point where NASCAR was calling me, they thought that this guy could have been a terrorist. That's how serious. That's another podcast. Yeah, when they're asking me questions about Alex Michigan going, hey, who's this guy connected to? And I'm like, what? Why do I keep getting with these losers? What's going on with me? And so we went to Toyota and they said, where do you want to go? And at the time, Jermaine was running really well. And I knew the Jermaines, believe it or not, I knew the Jermaines before racing because I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And when I did helicopter traffic, Jermaine Toyota was my sponsor.
Yeah.
So I always had to say, Jermaine Toyota, traffic brought to you by Jermaine Toyota. But we always loved Bill and Gail Davis. And we wanted to go race with Bill and Gail Davis before the Bang deal. But Bill also said, I ain't going to have no trucks. I'm just building them and we're doing engines and stuff. And I ain't going to field no trucks, Skinner, And so then when he showed up with a truck, we were like, son of a bitch, what the hell? Everybody lied, And then everybody's getting a truck again, right? And we're like, God bless America. So Toyota said, where do you want to go? And we were like, well, if Bill would take us, we'd like to go to Bill Davis Racing, where we wanted to be in the first damn place. And so I think I might have called Bill and whimpered a little bit, please take us homeless people with good sponsor and engines and a really good driver with a Champions Provisional, please. And yeah,
that's important.
Yeah, exactly.
That Champions Provisional, man.
And Bill's like, all right, Bill is so nonchalant. All right, whatever, Skinner, come on. And the first race in the truck, like in a matter of a week, we went from 42 to 5. Mm-hmm. And now we had the badass flames.
Yes, that's the one that I remember.
Yep, and Mike sat on the pole and it was at Texas. And I was like, thank you, baby Jesus. This is awesome. Yes. And the most fun that we ever had in our life was running trucks with Toyota and Bill and Gail Davis. Hands down, the most fun. I mean, just absolute, the best memories forever and ever. Just the drivers that were there, the fact that the drivers, we were all driving our own buses. Yep. I mean, we were doing can you imagine a caravan with Todd Bodine, Ron Hornaday, Jack Sprague, Steve Park, and Mike Skinner? Yeah.